Battle of Blackstock took place on November 20th, 1780 during the American Revolution. British soldiers led by Lieutenant Colonel Banastre Tarleton were pursuing American forces and their commander, Brigadier General Thomas the Gamecock Sumter, and caught up with them at the Blackstock Family Plantation on the banks of the Tyger River. It was near dusk and the Revolutionaries had the high ground and the cover of the buildings on the plantation. Sumter knew the knoll overlooking Tarleton's approaching path would give him and his troops a strong advantage. During the battle, only 3 American troops were killed and 5 wounded, including Sumter. The British suffered nearly 100 dead and another 100 wounded. Visitors to this location claim they hear gunshots, screams, the smell of gunpowder, and some believe they have even seen soldiers marching across these fields. There have also been reports of a black ghost dog chasing visitors out of the area as they drive off. Pitt conducted 2 separate investigations, nearly a year apart, including our most recent on the anniversary of the battle, November 20th, 2012. Though not much activity was seen, a few audio events did occur, some of which were captured by our digital equipment. Here are our findings. During an initial visit to scout the location, I captured what originally we believed to be a shadow figure across the creek from where Tarleton's men were approaching. Look closely and notice the body language appears to be that of a soldier, and he appears to be wearing a hat that would be appropriate to this time period. During our first full investigation of the site, we made it a priority to try to debunk this as something natural. After some familiar posing by Hunter, we found that we had originally believed to be a shadow figure was actually simply a dead tree with wilting black leaves. Through our nights of both investigations, we did notice that the temperatures on the plantation site were much lower than those of the surrounding towns. Whether that was due to the proximity of the river or just an odd weather phenomenon, we are not sure. However, we did notice that the battlefield has a constant EMF reading of 0.2 during the day and increases at night. This is also unexplainable, as there are no power lines running under or above the area. Throughout our investigations, we noticed fluctuations in the EMF detectors near the unmarked graves signified by these white stones in the battlefield. Philip also believed he had heard something near here, which he would later classify as a distant scream. Near the British line during our first visit, Bill and Philip heard what they believed to be the sound of a tambourine, but were unable to capture the audio evidence of this. During the same investigation, Hunter and I conducted an EVP session on a small footbridge when we captured the intriguing piece of audio you're about to hear. Listen closely.
Alright, it's Adam and Hunter. You know what time it is, Hunter? You gotta watch.
7:26.
7:26. We are on the first bridge in the lower battlefield. We've been looking at some different temperature changes. Right now we're at 34.8 according to the bell meter, and when we were just up at the graves with the whole group, it was down to 29.1 or something. Mm-hmm. There's a couple dogs probably a mile or so, not even a mile from here, barking that we can hear. Are you angry at the Blackstocks for supporting the Colonials up there in their barn on top of the hill, firing down here?
Just bang on something or knock on something. Slam your musket into a tree. Make any type of noise if you want us to leave, or make any type of noise if you don't want us to leave.
Were you one of the dragoons or one of the cavalry on mounted horse coming through here chasing the Colonials? How could you let some weak, unorganized men from the hills defeat the world's most powerful army? How can that happen? Is Tarleton not a good commander? He thought he killed Sumter, but he was wrong. We know you didn't die here, but are you here protecting the Americans that did fall here? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You wanna call it on this EVP session?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
During the second investigation, Bill and I conducted an EVP session near the Patriot line of defense. Bill thought he heard something in the woods behind us, which on recording sounds much like gunshots. Listen.
You hear that behind us?
Uh-uh.
And finally, the rumor of the ghost dog. Throughout both investigations, we heard many dogs barking around the area. Sometimes it seemed they were reacting to the events we caught on our recorders. But as we were leaving the morning after our second visit, we realized one possible explanation. We came upon a large deer with a very dark coat standing near the road as we were leaving. Could this animal be mistaken for a large canine? We believe it could. Special people are already susceptible to the rumors. Possible dog, possibly debunked. Our final conclusion is there is quite possibly some residual activity occurring at this little-known battle site in South Carolina. We don't have much concrete evidence, but the sounds that we did capture do reference the possibility of revolutionary ghosts still haunting this battlefield. From the pit crew, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more investigations.